Hello, physical science class. This is a short video that I made in order to be able to try to explain how to fill in the chart that you had for your homework. And I just wanted to be able to help you to be able to understand what all the periodic table is going to help you with. I wanted to just point out a couple of things here. When you have this symbol, it just means this would be whatever symbol that you would find of an element on your periodic table. Okay, so in the back of your book on page 518 and 519 is a diagram that represents the periodic table of elements. You'll need that for this homework question. On the top here where it says A, that A represents your mass number. And your mass number is the combination of protons and neutrons. The Z that you find down here is your atomic number. And that is the same thing as your number of protons. Notice over here there's another formula of sorts that says N, which is your number of neutrons. And in order to be able to calculate your number of neutrons, you're going to take A, which is your mass number, right? Your protons and neutrons. And you're going to subtract out Z, which is your number of protons, right? So think about it. If you have 10 cookies and you eat 5 of them, you only have 5 left, right? If you have protons and neutrons and you take away the protons, you're going to be left with just the neutrons. And so in your homework, there was a chart, question 8, that was asking you to be able to fill in the partially filled in chart that they put in your homework. I'm just looking for the page number. Well, I don't want to take up our time. So they gave us a couple of examples that they already did. This is called the isotopic notation. It has 207, which remember 207 is the mass number, right? That's the protons plus the neutrons. This number down here, Z, right? That's just the number of protons. So what they've done is taken this 82 and they've put it here on the chart because this atomic number is the same thing as the number of protons that that element has. One thing that we're also going to talk about in the coming chapters is this idea of an element being a neutral substance. If something's neutral, it has the same number of protons, which are positive, and the same number of electrons, which are negative, right? So if you have a plus 5 and minus 5, they're going to cancel each other out, right? That's going to make this element neutral. So in this case, what you have is 82 protons, and that means in order for you to have something that doesn't have any positive or negative charge, right? This Pb is lead, and that lead is a neutral element. So it's going to have the same number, 82 protons or positive charges, and 82 electrons. And then in order to calculate the number of neutrons, you're going to take 207, right, your A, and subtract 82, and that will give you 125. 125 neutrons, 82 protons, 82 electrons. Okay, let's try this next one down here. Notice they gave us some numbers, 197, 79, and then they leave this blank. That means we're going to go on the periodic table of elements and find 79. So I'm going to move my camera over here, and 79 is AU, which is gold. So what we're going to do is write on this line AU. We know it has 79 protons. That's what makes it gold. That's its identity, right? And we're going to take our A, right, 197, and subtract out 79, and that's how we get 118, right? And remember, gold has no positive or negative charge. It's neutral, so it must have the same number, 79 protons and 79 electrons. I'm going to leave this next one for you because you have everything you need there to be able to figure it out. So I'm not going to do that one. Instead, I'm going to skip down here to this one. Notice it says 127 and it has an I, right? I is the symbol for iodine. And so we look on the chart, and 53 is the number that's going to identify that element, right? So 53 is the atomic number, or also known as the number of protons. So this 53 is going to tell us that we have 53 protons, and again, no positive or negative, it's neutral. So if it's got 53 protons, it's also going to have 53 electrons. And then remember, in order to calculate our number of neutrons, we're going to take our A minus our Z, our A, 127, minus our Z, which is 53, 7 minus 3, 4, 12 minus 5 is 7, right? 74, right? 7, and yeah, 74. So that's how we're going to fill this in. On this particular one, they're going to try to trick you a little bit, but you have everything you need to know here. You just have to use your periodic table, right? Periodic table over here, we're going to look for iron, which is Fe. Notice the number is 26. And this particular chart has the mass number as 55.85. Just want, without going into too much detail, to know that we can round this to a whole number and call it 56, and that will be easier for our math. So what I'm going to do is take what we found from our periodic table of elements. Fe has the atomic number of 26 and the atomic mass of 55.85, or like I already said, we can round that number to 56 and it will make our math easier. Okay, so as a result, I'm going to leave that and leave you to fill in this particular rest of your chart.